Hello, I've never done this before, but it's Friday, so I thought I would do a weekly reading wrap-up kind of thing. I finished A Witch's Guide to Fake Dating a Demon by Sarah Holly. This was a NetGalley e-arc that I got to read. Thank you, Galance and NetGalley. I really enjoyed this book. It was funny. It was very Emily Henry kind of vibes, but with a little bit of fantasy. It's about a witch named Mariel. She's a very powerful witch, but her magic is with nature, so she can speak to plants and all that kind of thing. But she's got a very overbearing family who are not impressed with her version of magic. They want her to excel in all forms of magic. And she's trying to go to some special school, but in order for her parents to pay for that, particularly her mom, who is horrible, by the way, oh my god, she has to meet her mom's expectations. So there's a day where she's baking and she thought that she would bring all of the ingredients to herself rather than going and getting them. Well, she messes up and she summons a bargaining demon, and that is Ozroth the Ruthless. And he's not allowed to leave her until she makes a bargain for her soul. Obviously, she doesn't want to. There's reasons why. I won't give that away. So yeah, he has to follow her around now, and so he has to meet her friends and her family, and her mom assumes that they're dating, and it just becomes a huge thing. Spice level, I'd say it was like a 1 chili. I rate my spice probably very differently from other people. There is corn in it. It is descriptive, but it's very vanilla. So that's why I gave it a 1 spice. But yeah, aside from that, I know some people don't like this, but there is a little bit of pop culture references in this book. I did not mind it. I thought that it flowed really nicely, because it's a definitely urban fantasy. But yeah, I really like this. It came out yesterday, so if you see it at your local Waterstones, Barnes & Noble, Books A Million, if Books A Million's still open, I don't know. All I ever see is Barnes & Noble's on here. And what's the Canadian one? Indigo. Or any of your local bookstores. Always support local businesses. Yeah, pick this up. I also finished the ebook Almond by... I'm afraid I'm gonna mispronounce his name, and I'm so sorry. Won Pyong Sun, I think is how you pronounce it. It's about a teenage boy. He starts off very young, and then you see him grow into a teenager, young adult kind of thing. He has a disorder where there's little bits in your brain. I don't know the actual name for it. I probably should have looked that up. But there's little bits in your brain that it's basically the stimuli that gives you emotions and lets you feel things. His are really small, and he calls them his almond. And his almonds are just really small. That's what he says through the whole book, and I think that is so adorable. But yeah, whenever he's very young, there's a lot of really horrific events that occur in front of him. And him being someone who can't process emotions, doesn't feel emotions, whether that be himself or to be able to recognize it in others. So he lacks empathy. He's not afraid of anything. He doesn't know love. He doesn't know happiness. He doesn't know... I'm pretty sure he knows pain, maybe, I think. But it's not on the same level that you and I would know pain. So yeah, a lot of horrific things happen in front of him, and he gets bullied in school for it. It's a very powerful book. It really opened my eyes. I didn't even know that this disease was a thing, but now I do. So I've learned something. It is a Korean translated fiction. I think I'm really in my translated fiction era. I've read The Cat Who Saved Books. I read Sweet Bean Paste, and now this one, and I just want to read more translated fiction. I've also gotten into A Day of Fallen Night. I'm not that far in. I've kind of reread a little bit of it because I made it 100 pages in, but I kind of rushed that, so I didn't really know what was going on. So I've started it over. I'm on chapter 6. It's super gay already, and I'm loving it. Yeah, so some books that I want to read after, now that I've gotten one of my March goals out of the way, because I really only set 2. I started reading Alone with You in the Ether. I probably should have had this ready, but that's okay. I started reading Alone with You in the Ether with some of my friends. They came over, we had like a nice little lunch day, and we started reading together. I've got the Waterstones exclusive edition. But yeah, I was really enjoying this at first. It's very, we were kind of taking the piss out of it. But yeah, I actually really like it. The characters seem very pretentious, and I absolutely love that. So I'm gonna try and finish that. And yeah, I think that's all I want to read so far. I'm not really, nothing's really jumping out at me yet. But we'll see. Okay, bye.